40 or something.
Mr. Pajaro, Mrs. Evans, Mr. Foster.
Present.
Present, Mr. McLaughlin,
Present.
and Mr. Stubbs.
Present. I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chair. Yeah. Subject C is the approval of the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda as presented. Mr. McLaughlin. Supported by Ms. Evans. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Views and comments, citizens?
None.
Written communication.
None.
And moving on to special presentations, we have Barton Mallow here with bond information.
They said it was worse. I wasn't expecting a little more time. Good to see you all. Thank you for having me here tonight. Just wanted to present sort of a status update of where we're at with the bond planning effort. We're getting to the point in the process where a lot of things are going to start happening in quick succession, and a lot of those events involve you as board members. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed on where we're at, what our next steps are, and if you have any questions, please feel free to chime in at any time. So, next slide.
Zane, I don't do anything with this. This is all you.
Again, my name is Larry Bukowski, Chief Planner with Barton Mallow's Education Group. I've been involved working with Amy and Jody here as part of the team, putting together the work list for the bond application. Just want to recap what we've done to date. I want to talk about some scenarios we put together for what's going to go into the program, and talk through some of our logic with how we put those together. And then, like I said, talk about the next steps and some of the key dates that are coming up, and then open it up for any questions or discussion that you may have. So if you recall, back in the spring, we walked all the buildings, walked with Jody, looked at every bit of the buildings, all the deficiencies, all the things that need to be on the work list, sort of like your house. If you have home improvements you want to do, you make a work list, and then we assign dollars to each one of those things. And each item they're all in costs. So all the contingencies, all the design fees, all the general conditions, all those items are sort of included to give the district an all-encompassing budget on what it would cost to take care of those deficiencies. And what it revealed is over the next 10 years, there's, in varying degrees of priorities, there's roughly between $70 and $80 million worth of things to consider for building improvements. Now, that's not uncommon for districts to have more in repairs than they have access to funds. So our job now is to whittle the list down into the priorities, figure out how big the bucket's going to be for the bond, and what gets into that bucket. So that's what we've been working on since then. So working with Jody and Amy, we put together 5 scenarios based on some of the information that the financial advisor gave us. And looks like this slide got a little chopped. But your financial advisor, regardless, put together 5 different scenarios to put before the voters based on how big of a millage increase the district wanted to go out for. So anywhere between 1 and 3 mills were the scenarios that they put together in half-mil increments. So 1 mil, 1.5 mil, 2 mil, and so on. When we looked at this and looked at the net dollars that the district would get in each scenario, next slide. So I know the suspense is probably killing it. Oh, there you are. Okay. The district thought we should focus on those middle 3 scenarios. So 1.5 mil, 2 mil, 2.5 mil. 3 mil was maybe a bridge too far. Maybe the voters wouldn't support such an aggressive approach. 1 mil didn't really net enough to make a impactful dent in the work list. So We focused on those 3 scenarios. And those are the scenarios that I want to kind of go through with you tonight. So scenario 1 at 1.5 mils would net the district $20,900,000. And with that, the district prioritized critical areas of the roofs throughout the district. Obviously, the associated asbestos abatement that would be required for any of the work we do. Temperature controls, that's something that Jody struggles with daily. He can't sit in one spot and look at what the HVAC system is doing. And that would really help him and his team out. It would also take care of the most critical mechanical and electrical upgrades in the district. So some of those failing HVAC units, chillers, rooftop units, things of that nature. It would also take care of some of the safety and security tech components. So your access control, your security cameras, and then some of the site improvements. So, parking lots that are failing and some of the critical sidewalks, things like that. So we established that our methodology was that's kind of our baseline work scope. And then each scenario on top of that would sort of just build on top of this scope. So scenario 2 at 2 mils, roughly $28 million. That would buy more roof. And then we added some window replacements. There's some windows throughout the district that are in pretty critical condition. So we added those. Expanded the mechanical scope of work. And again, kept the safety and security upgrades the same. Added a little bit to the site improvements. And then we threw in some furniture in this scenario as well. Scenario 3, again, 2.5 mils, roughly $35 million. Again, just building on those 2 scenarios. This would be all the critical roofing throughout the district. Again, expanding the upgrades a little more. Same thing with tech and security. Same furniture. I think we might have expanded it in this scenario as well a little bit, the furniture budget. And still, you're still getting those critical site improvements as well. And again, that's a 2.5 mil tax impact to the voters. So what we're going to do with those scenarios is in about a week, exactly, we're going to conduct focus panel meetings. And I believe you met our consultant at a previous board meeting that we work with. They do our election support work. They are going to take these proposals, take these scenarios in front of, select sampling of voters, talk them through each scenario, and get a feel for what the appetite is for, a tax increase. Is there an appetite to go with the full scenario 3, or do we want to scale back and maybe look at scenario 1 or 2? That's what the focus panel is designed to reveal. Also, January 29th through February 8th, there's going to be a community survey open. Anyone in the community can take it. And again, that'll just support some of that decision making some of the information that we gather in those focus panels. That'll kind of be buttressed by the survey results as well. So the district will be given the results of those findings at your board meeting on February 19th. And we'll also take that feedback by that next board meeting. We'll take that feedback and tailor the program based off of what we heard back from the voters or from the community. I skipped over February 9th. We're going to be conducting with the district. They sent out a RFP for an architect and design team that would, once the bond passes, they would be the ones who design the projects that get put in place. So February 19th, yes.
Question on that. I know we did our interviews with you. A lot of that was in-house with you guys, correct? You guys could do that with the architectural and engineering.
We don't design the work. We're sort of an agent on the district's behalf to sort of conduct the construction. Okay. But the way the funding works with the state, we're sort of prohibited from doing the design. We can't oversee and design the work. So there's a design team involved in any bond program, and then the construction manager. So it's between us, the architect, and the owner. It's sort of a 3-party effort.
But I'm sorry,
Yep.
Do you guys recommend? Would you
I was gonna
recommend
s-
the company or other than yourselves?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And we did, we shared with Amy some contacts that we worked with in the area that we've worked with for years. We brought, I think, 3 firms to the table, and we're happy to assist in any way in making that decision. But we can work with any firm, really. But we will be sitting in on those interviews as well. So as a board, February 19th is your next critical date. You'll be hearing the feedback from those surveys and focus panels. You'll also receive the preliminary program that will, a month later go before the state, the Department of Treasury, as part of your bond application. March 10th is what's called the pre-qualification meeting with the Department of Treasury. That's something that we sort of lead that meeting with the Department of Treasury. They review the bond app in great detail. They pour through it, make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. And the reason they're so thorough is because once that gets approved and signed by the district, it becomes a foilable document. And so that's sort of your promise to voters is what's going to happen with the bond dollars that you receive. So that's March 10th. The following board meeting, I believe that might be a cow on March 12th. Might be mistaken, but the board meeting following the pre-qualification meeting is when you'll sign that bond application, and your attorney will mail it back to the Department of Treasury, and they'll begin like a 30-day review process of that bond application. After that 30-day window, your next board meeting, which I believe is April 23rd, is when you'll actually formally call for the election as a board. You'll vote to put this thing on the ballot. And that's when it goes and gets filed with the county and gets placed on the ballot. Chris Imarino with Troon, I believe, is who you work with. He handles a lot of that legwork of actually filing for the election and things like that. So there's a lot of parties involved. It's a lot of coordination that goes on with getting this on the ballot. And then once you call for the election, that's when your campaign can officially start. You've officially announced this is going to be on the ballot. You can start, advertising the bond campaign or the bond program to voters. Absentee ballots are available in late June, so you can see that time between April 24th and late June. There's not much time there to tell your story. So that's what we have to immediately, once you call for election, we have to start advertising and raising awareness for the bond program. And then obviously election day is August 4th. So like I said, a lot of steps. Pretty much every board meeting there's going to be something bond related from here on out. Just wanted to make you all aware of that and what to expect as we move forward. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
look at you.
you're not interrupting. You're officially in.
Okay. Just to remind the board and the community that there'll be a video coming out. So like when Larry's talking about how that push between April and the end of June to get our message out, there'll be messaging coming out now. I've been working really closely with Kelsey from Bannock, which is the company that contracts with Barton Mala that he's referencing. You guys have met Kelsey. So I shot the video yesterday. It was perfect because there was no children in the building. So I was able to use the high school hallway, and our Devin Rucker did the video. So he's doing that. Kelsey gave lots of the bullet points of the things that we went over, the projects with the different selections for the bond scenarios 1, 2, and 3. So I went over all of that in the video, and then also went over, the why and the what. Jody sent over a lot of the pictures of our roofs, leaking, our windows, our pipes. Jody sent all that type of stuff. I sent and had them yesterday take pictures, went into several classrooms at the high school showing the mismatched furniture. The Spanish room is my favorite one to show, of just like how there's an orange chair, there's a blue chair, there's a brown chair, and those are some of the desks that people from 20 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, when people were students here. Yeah. So they were able to do that. We went into the library, took pictures of the lab, our old computer lab that's in the computer or in the library. What? Yeah. I was like, I think you're telling me no, it's not. I'm like, Zane,
You're right.
are you okay? I was like, what are you saying to me? Okay, so we went there, and then, today, Devin and his team went into each building, because we knew that tomorrow with the cold weather coming, we had the one day. So, thank you to our principals for working with us on a last minute, but, the cancellations obviously messed things up a little bit, but Mr. Rucker was able to get into all the buildings today. Did he get to all of your schools? Awesome. And shot some good video of our teachers with our kids, to put into, it's roughly around 5 minutes and 30 seconds, the video that will be coming out in the next day or so. So that video is gonna be attached to the survey that's going out to the community and to the staff and everybody, that Kelsey will be putting in. It's due to Kelsey tomorrow. So Devin's rocking that out today after getting the footage from the schools, and that will be placed into the survey. So prior to people taking the survey, they'll get to watch that 5-minute video on all the things. So it's a super thorough 5.5. Now, obviously, that's not the only communication that we'll have. Kelsey and I will continue working together. The mailers went out to the 55 and up community a week ago. There's a little bit of a hiccup that went out. Kelsey is aware, but we are learning more. There's been more phone calls. I don't know if Kelsey told you, Larry, that the letters that are coming out, we had some visitors today that were concerned because the letters that went out have the wrong name to the address. Yeah, we don't know how many houses that affected, but we're hearing that there's a handful, so we're gonna have to fix that. So I don't know what happened or how that happened, but we used Kelsey's mailer person, so we'll get that. What?
Resident at.
Yeah, just resident. Yeah, instead of putting the name, trying to be fancy, I don't know what happened, but we'll work on that. But the reason why Kelsey recommends the 55 and up and why that went out through the mail is that way a lot of, research says that our population of 55 and up typically aren't as savvy with logging in and doing a survey virtually. So we sent mailers to them for the input. So, okay.
Any questions for Bart Mallon?
Yeah, actually, I do have a question. Obviously, communication is going to be huge, and communicating with the community. Is this, a video is going to be out, so forth, but I think myself personally is going to have to do a lot of groundwork on us alone, as far as the board, getting communication out. And now that this is out, is there any bullet points that we can at least share with the board that we need to share with the community? Because I already heard a question in my head that I already know someone's going to ask. Okay, and I probably, I don't think I saw it as, okay, a valued home of $300,000 for these, what's it going to cost? Right? We need that information. We can't just sit there and say we're going to bond. So do we have that information?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, it's all in the video.
But I'm looking for stuff like that and strong bullet points so that we can go ahead and they're going to start asking. I can feel it already. I mean, and I think we need to be prepared and prepped. And I think, Shane, you know what we're going to have to do? Remember when we started getting on the board, we did a lot of traveling.
Beach meetings. We went to all the beach associations.
It's time, I think we're gonna do that again. It's time to do it
And
again.
there was a nice turnout at most of them, and a lot of times if there's something like this, a topic like this, and we can get advertisement out there, I feel like the group will be bigger.
Agreed.
The demographics of them 55 and up was all of them, every attendee.
Really?
Now, there are things to keep in mind in your capacity as board members.
Correct.
You can't advocate.
They cannot.
No.
And Kelsey will be,
We're just sharing.
yeah,
You took the
Kelsey
words
will
out of
be
my
very.
I was letting them finish, and I looked at them, I'm like, no, the board can't be there for anything. You guys can't even be on the focus panels, neither can I. We can't be involved, we can't be any type of, it's not that type of thing. It's really community
We can
based.
have knowledge to answer questions.
Yes.
You can run what's called
They're gonna
informational.
Shane, they're gonna pull you aside.
100%. We
I
just
would-
like the knowledge to
Can't tell
answer the questions.
Would PFM help with the financial meeting showing, like, here's scenario 1, 2, and 3?
No, it's already out there, it's all in the video. Every bit of, they give a projection in the video, for example, one of the things I talk about in the video is on an average of a $225,000 home within our community, the cost is gonna be approximately $168.25 for the year. It's like so precise. But on each bond scenario that is allocated for the amount of money, it breaks it down and shows that for the community. Yeah, it's,
Are we limited in how much the board can help?
yes,
That's what I need to know.
there's nothing,
Because
there's nothing.
Just the information, right?
Yeah,
very.
if somebody asks a question, we have to be able to answer. We can't say, don't ask me.
You can't
Well,
ask
let me
for
be back.
support.
Shane, on there. Do you support this? Do you wanna go ahead and, do we need this?
You can't campaign for it.
No, you cannot.
See,
You cannot post on Facebook
I know,
asking
They're gonna put us
Mr.
on.
McLaughlin.
I know.
I need to
I
know
can
this.
just share it.
I wanna make sure.
We
Everybody-
might need a training- we might need a training course.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, a community member could organize a yes committee. And that's something that Kelsey would support. If there is someone out there who wants to do that and is willing to do that. It includes like some official filing and things like that, but that's a process that Kelsey could support. But yeah, Amy's right. In your capacity as board members, your hands are sort of tied. Is what you can say.
I literally asked Kelsey if my husband could go on the focus panel Zoom and not me. And she was like, well, it was cute. She was great. I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, he's a community member. Any other questions?
I appreciate the update.
Yeah,
Sure,
thank you.
thank you.
Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to it.
We'll see you all in about a month with the next step.
Yeah. Lastly, I just wanna, with you here, Larry, I just wanna give you a public shout out for the support and the help and the unbelievable amount of information that you guys have had. Barton Mallow, it's very clear we chose the right group. They have been nothing short of, I think Deb and Jody both, we meet with them often. Our weekly Zoom meetings, constant, if I need anything, if Deb needs anything, if Jody needs anything, it's a quick phone call, the answer is there. So I just wanna thank you very much, not just for being here tonight, Larry, but just the help that you were able to give Jody and I sitting down with the project list, because so much of that stuff, it was so hard for me because there's so many things that we need. As he presented, $70 to $80 million worth of things, and our each bond scenario is gonna be obviously nowhere near that, but we needed to identify the biggest and the largest needs of the district to make sure that we have a safe learning environment for kids. And Larry really helped us go in there because of course Jody's like, we need the window, and I'm like, we need the furniture in the classroom. Like, so we had to like really duke it out of like where are the biggest priorities, and obviously the sustainability was the biggest part. So the education piece for not only myself, but even bringing things to light for Jody, and you guys have just been rock stars. So thank you for everything that you've done.
I want to stress again, that this is not a unique situation where your needs exceed the dollars. It's
Sure.
yet to work with a district that's like, oh man, what are we going to do with all this money? We have so much extra. So don't be discouraged. It's not meant to get you guys down. It's something we see every day.
One more question.
Yeah.
It's strictly opinionated. You do this often, correct? Bonds, so forth, through your experience. How we look?
I'll tell you in a month. No, that's what the focus panels are designed for.
Understood, but you do have experience of all these schools. Your latest one, did it pass?
Yes. Yeah, it did.
That's encouraging, sir. Thank you.
I was gonna say, I think there was a percentage, like 90-some% of the ones.
So
that
that it makes a big difference if it's a no tax increase or a tax increase. So, and it doesn't matter really how big the tax increase is, it's just that it's a tax increase. So that changes the metrics, and that's sort of something the district's obviously faced with, but there's no reason without proper communication that we can't put together a program that people would support.
Amy, I do have a question. How are you reaching the 55? If you're saying like, on the computer and stuff, so how is that video gonna be sent out to them?
It's not.
Oh,
It's
it's not.
paper. No,
Okay.
it was the survey was mailed.
Okay.
Paper copy. Yeah. And that was all ran through Kelsey, the company that she uses. They're able to, whatever the program is, to pull out our people, but Kelsey and I are gonna have to do something to fix it a little bit.
And I think during the campaigning side, I don't know, but that could be a good time to have those conversations with some of those groups too, to bring them in, those kind of things going forward.
Yeah, part of my superintendent update today is to talk about the poor feedback that we're getting on focus panels. So you asked like how we're doing, not well. But at the same time, the teachers aren't responding, the community's not responding, the students aren't responding. So Karen is resending all of that out. We met with Kelsey these days, I'm sorry. Can you tell I'm a little tired? Yesterday when Kelsey told her that, she was like, yeah, and I'm like, is that normal? Like, what's going on? So we only have like one teacher that said yes. We have 3 from the community that said yes. So now Kelsey's to the point where she wants me to go ahead and start single-handedly calling people that I know individually to bring them in. And then also recommended, is it the Moose and American Legion, Deb? Eagles? VFW and
Moose, and then the libraries.
in the libraries, yeah. So we're gonna target people there, maybe post some flyers, but Kelsey did say that sometimes that's, somewhat normal, to not get the feedback, but I'm gonna walk the halls with Miss Crosley next week, and I haven't said it to you yet, but to really start doing like this to the kids, like we know the kids, especially seniors that have lived through, most of them, like a K-12 student at Jefferson, of sitting in the furniture and using the computers in the library and all the things. So we'll get some more, I think, coming up to a student and saying, hey, we really need your input. Going up to a teacher, hey, we really need your input. It's a really big deal to show like what they're for and the needs assessment and all the things. So, and then communities and parents, the principals did a really nice job and gathered the names of the people that they thought would, really respond, and unfortunately they haven't. So we're going to go to Plan B and start dialing for dollars ourselves. Sometimes it's different when we call ourselves and principals can call, and we can start making those calls. So
Anytime you're talking about a village increase, there's some work to do, right? But I guess the advantage that you have is there's nothing really on any list that's controversial, or
right.
It's stuff you have to do. So that should help tell your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
You're up.
Before this is moved.
Okay. I will have our administrators go first. This is not where they go?
This is your update.
Well, none of the staff is gonna talk.
Board and administration. If you want to have them go in your spot, this is your update.
Okay. So my update is, first and foremost, it is Board Recognition Month. So thank you to all of our board members for all that you do. Hint, hint, there might be a little treat here next week for you. So thank you again for all that you do day in, day out, not just by attending meetings, but also being out in the community and being a support to our students and staff at all times. We appreciate you for that. And you'll have a little prize next week that we're working on and is a little bit delayed. And that's the only reason why it's not here today. It's taking a little bit of time. You'll see next week. So also, I want to report, I already reported back on the focus panels. We are working on that to make sure the canceled days obviously didn't help that, but we'll get that going. Kelsey didn't seem overwhelmed. Zane, are we good on the, okay. Kelsey did not seem overwhelmed on that at all. She said that we'll be able to fill those seats and get some people just by us calling. So I might ask for some of your support on that. If you know people in the community that you guys can help us with calling to be a part of that, that would be great. And we're looking for all ages and all people, certainly not just employees of the district. We need people from all over. I also thought about tapping into our local businesses that have been nothing but a huge support to our schools, to maybe put up some flyers and ask for support and put the link up there. Kelsey recommended that would be totally fine too. So like Sales and Verna's and places like that. Also, we made some changes today to our buildings. We needed to do some extra supports. As you know, special education has been a huge hole, not just for Jefferson schools, but neighboring schools. It's just been a huge shortage. As you also know, we've had some people in positions that are not certified teachers, aren't even teachers, providing the instruction to our students with disabilities because of the shortage. The state has allowed people to do that with a permit. The intent of the district while that was happening was always to try to find special education teachers, or teachers for that matter, to fill those roles and help out. So there's some changes today.
right now, we did get Holly Simons, and I want to give a shout out to Miss Baslow. Leon did a really nice job recruiting her to come back. Holly Simons used to teach here. For those that don't know her, she retired from Jefferson, special education teacher from the middle school. She is coming back full time and starting Monday at the middle school. That was the only place she wanted to work. She was like, if I come back and I work full time, Leon, I want to be at the middle school. So she is coming back. Yeah, we need special ed period. Yeah, absolutely. So we're grateful to Ms. Simons for coming back. With that being said, Mr. Wendells was in the position of servicing the students with special needs. And as you guys are aware, when we were able to fill that position of special education, Mr. Wendells would shift back into the intervention role. So Mr. Wendells is going to be doing that, shifting back to intervention beginning Monday. And that displaced Mr. DeSilvis. Met with Mr. DeSilvis today with Mr. Netto and Ms. Wendells, and Mr. DeSilvis is not interested in the openings that we have right now for intervention, which is at North Elementary. So he politely declined that, which is totally okay. We'll see if there's any other roles throughout the district that we need him for a subbing standpoint. But he really was interested in more of the secondary roles. So we'll see what happens with that. But in addition, we did also make a change, and I want to thank her for it as well, but we did move Ms. Wendells over to North Elementary full-time. I also want to thank Mr. Netto for his support of that move. Right now, North Elementary is in need of some additional supports for staff, and that gives Ms. Rosecrans the ability to live more in classrooms to provide instructional feedback to our struggling staff members. And that allows Ms. Wendells to be at the school full-time to help our kiddos that struggle and that come into the office that need some extra support. So I want to thank them both for the teamwork on that and being understood. Mr. Netto is not going to have a dean of students at the middle school at this time. And I'd like to also give a shout out to Mr. Armando, our social worker, who is part-time, if you remember. He was a 0.5. He does do a lot of private social work. So because of this change, we asked Mr. Armando if he was willing to step up a little bit and increase hours even just a little bit to try to assist and help mediate some of the behaviors at the middle school prior to them arriving to Mr. Netto's office and help out Ms. McCullough as well. And he said yes. So he is going to increase his hours up to a 0.8 at the middle school. So at least provide some more social work on that aspect to provide some support. So just huge shout out to both teams and everybody there, understanding the why, as the board knows, right now North Elementary is in need of additional supports. So thank you to everybody for that. Also, last but not least, and we also have, I hope I say her name right, Miss Rowe, is it Trish McCluskey? Okay, Trish McCluskey also retired from here. Okay, and so she is, while she's not a special education teacher, she is a teacher, retired teacher. So she is going to fill the role over at SOT with providing students with special education supports. So that was fantastic. That need is also there. So that will relieve Kathy Teedy from that role of doing the special education position there. But Kathy is willing to go over to serve any type of intervention roles over at North or sub in the district at any time to help out. She's just not interested in any type of full-time work. So she is more than happy to help out. So it's been like a win all the way around in terms of supports for everybody, and everybody has been very understanding and ready to rock and help support. Okay. Thank you. Okay, check register. Any questions that you haven't gotten answered already? Okay. Purchasing card statement. Good. Moving on to the presentation of the 2025-26 budget amendment. The floor is yours, Deb.
This sent to everybody. I know.
Oh my God.
But there really wasn't a whole lot of change. The changes on the revenue side was we no longer with the 31AA because we decided to turn it down. So those funds, that revenue was pulled out. And then also with the state budget, the state decided to to get rid of some of the reimbursements from the ORS that we have received in the previous years. So that, between the 31A and the FSRS, of Office of Retirement ORS, that was your $462,000 change. On the expenditure side, it was a total of $130,000 difference. So it was just kind of moving some money around and adding in we did get the 33K grant that we hadn't used last year, so we're using it this year. So I needed to increase the expenditures for the teachers along with the equipment that we're gonna be buying. It's part of the grant money. Along with some increase in some legal fees and increase in errors and omission insurance policies. And then our lockout system that we have to put in. We have to put expense of that. And that was it. So you're wanting to know it's gonna take the fund balance to 24.31, providing how that falls into place.
You say it's staying at 24.31?
Yeah, from 28.
It's still healthy.
Yes. So hopefully there's gonna be some more grants and there's gonna be some more money that's gonna come out that we can apply for, and then we'll keep that back. Or if we can cut expenditures somewhere else if we don't need to spend the money somewhere. I always tell Jody no.
Sometimes you can't.
I know, sometimes I can tell Jody no.
Any questions for Deb? Okay, facilities update.
I want to say first of all, was it you that was interviewing Mark Melrose?
Yeah.
They were above and beyond all the rest of the guys. They are amazing. Larry's great to work with. Kelsey and Amy are two peas in a pot on social media. It's crazy. The whole team they have, they assist us with anything.
Yeah.
It's fine related, not fine related, financial. They have a team that they're amazing. I would, if anybody, any other school was looking to do a bond, that's the team to get. They're good. You guys see the weather outside. I want to thank my drivers for driving these kiddos. I had to take off earlier to go knock out some snow drifts because they were dang near getting stuck. Custodians who've been working shoveling snow, maintenance yard. Daryl been working 12 hours. He gets out of the truck. He's all hunched over for me in that truck that long. It's just a lot of work. Snow removal is difficult. So thank you guys. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Bus right, Carrie, Melanie, and I have been working with a bus right group. That's the new routing system that you guys approved. This thing's going to be a game changer. The routes are simplified, live tracking for dispatch and for the parents through an app. Driver flexibility, we'll move drivers around if we have to. Sub drivers can drive any route, literally without looking at a piece of paper while they're driving. And the communication is going to be great for this system.
When do you think that will go into effect?
So I think we're going to have a soft launch in March.
We're going to have our contract ends with the current vendor on January 31st. So technically, our launch will be February 1st with BusRight. However, we will be going through and tweaking the system. Our drivers have all their routes on paper. So we'll be moving forward with tweaking the routes through BusRight, getting it all in order. And then hopefully towards mid to end of March, launch with our drivers. We will not be launching the parent app likely until the end of May. So there's just a couple weeks at the end of the year where the parents can see what the app is to kind of get them familiar with it for when we launch in the fall. But we don't want to launch something to the parents until it's completely vetted and accurate and everything's in order. The parents will be able to see where the child's bus is, but will not be able to see the entire route. They'll be able to see where their bus is when the bus is within about 3 minutes from So Mr. Bedaro would say, the bus would pop up on the map when it was about at Kroger until it was about to the end of your street. At the end of your street, so you would get that like 3-minute notice. The bus is coming, Boots, Coat, Hat, get on out to the bus. So, but they cannot see the entire route, so we ask for that as a safety precaution. They won't see any other stops besides their own.
Also, communication, we'll be able to, if a bus is running late, we can send just, information on through text and this app both. They don't want to download the app, right to just the route. Just click on it and it'll just be that route. If you want to click multiple routes, you click multiple routes, like if a bus is like being late because of a train or an accident. GPS, we're working on it so we can route it if there's an accident, route it around it. That's something they'll have to do manually right when it happens. Once they report back to dispatch, they'll be able to alter the routes. They've already integrated all our current routes. They pulled all the information from TransFinder. We got to review that yet, make sure it's correct. We've been in training, Carrie, Melanie, and I, a couple different trainings. So all the technicians pull that information into the system. We got to go through and verify it, obviously, but it's so much simpler for those two that it's. I mean, I could even do it if I had to. It's crazy, but the wiring, so all the iPads and the GPSs, the wiring's in. We don't have the iPads in there until we're going to be ready to do the soft launch. So that's all done. Excited about it. I am. So we had milk cooler dropped off and installed last week. 3-door freezer dropped off, installed last week. At North, roof heating unit above the kitchen, got Michael troubleshooting it. Doesn't seem like it's been working for a number of years, even prior to Michael being there. So he's troubleshooting it, see if we can't get it up and running.
Heating unit?
Heating unit. So it's not on the roof of the restaurant, it's actually a drop down. So you gotta use a ladder to get down to it. Michael's never looked at it before, but when he got down there, it doesn't look like it's ran even before he got here. So he's deep down, he's gonna see if we can get it fixed or if we need parts. So he's doing it now. That obviously got sidetracked because of all the snow and stuff. Sunroof, Mag has all the parts for the sunroof. The sunroom over at North. We gotta wait for at least 2 days, 30-degree weather, so the adhesive will, the caulking and stuff will adhere to the windows. The middle school, I don't know if you've seen the sinkhole that was out in front, right on the corner there. You might not have seen it, but there was a sinkhole. The sewer drain and the line had been broken from the Jefferson years ago. It just now fell away where it just fell down.
Is that why they were
happened this
digging up
summer.
there?
What's that?
Is that why they were digging
Yeah,
up there?
so,
Okay.
we also had a water line that broke underneath the asphalt, coming out of the boiler room, going from one side of the building to the other. It was leaking down in there. I didn't know how bad it was, but it was leaking. I shut that water line off. Well, we shut it off. But we found a company called Desro Brothers to come out. They dug it up. They patched it. While they were there, I asked them, can you look at that out there? Is something you do? I walked them out there while we're waiting on Detroit Acid for 2 months. He walked out there and he goes, I can do that for $500 if you backfill it. I goes, do it. Why did he do it? So they completed all that. We got to come back and finish the little spot of asphalt that they dug up and complete that, but they're done. They did an excellent job, quick. 2 brothers worked their butts off. Good job. Steve is on site at the high school and middle school. They're doing their yearly boiler inspections. They also have another group on site that was working on the dishwasher in the high school. Unfortunately, they also had, because of cold weather, they had 3 boilers that broke down. They came to me and said, hey, do you mind if I push this off? I got 3 boilers and I gotta get running in this cold weather. I understand if I had a boiler down, I would hope you could put in a dishwasher to come fix my boiler. So I gotta get back with them, see when they're getting back on site. CT apprenticeship boards are up, are here. They're in Deb's office. They'll be up before next week. Deb, get them out of your office.
Do we know where we're placing those by chance?
So if you know where the wood shop is, in between the wood shop and the auto shop, classroom is where the big boards are going. And then I think, you wanted one in the cafeteria, by the counseling area, and one in the middle school, that's four, yeah. So those are just little ones that you'll be able to scan a QR code on them, real small. The other ones are huge, so each one's got their own separate board for each class, so. I think we gotta get them up and get them pictures taken and sent to them.
Is the ask from the board then, that we take a walk and make sure that's where you guys want them?
That's what I was just thinking, because my only question, I guess, is where the auto shop and the construction trade shop is, I don't know how much traffic it gets through there, and it's sort of not in a, but the thing is, it's so large, so I understand we gotta
Problem is the size of it.
find the right location for it, but also thinking of where it's gonna get seen the most.
So, yeah, I think you've identified the area, right?
Yeah,
So-
Jen and I went along with,
Cause it's a big area.
because you needed it's either 10 feet or 12 feet.
It's 10 feet.
For the 10 feet.
Well,
I was thinking 10, but then all of a sudden I thought 12.
It would be nice if we had a place to put it where all students could see it, you know what I mean? Because I know, yeah, obviously, but it's kind of a feature thing. I know, obviously, real estate on our walls, I'm not dumb, I've been in the school, I know
There's
exactly
so
what we're
many
talking about. You
windows.
walk in Monroe's front doors of their school, and there's right there, it's amazing.
That's what I'm.
But we don't have a front door place like that, obviously, I get it, it just states that we should probably knock our school down and build around that.
Yeah.
Just say less.
I don't know why you haven't made it happen.
We only need billions. We only need billions.
Sorry, Joe.
That's gonna be going up soon, we're gonna change it, just, so you know about it. Michael at the high school's been working on fire systems, we need a relay, in the wood shop area, that's bad. And we also had one that was, it shows it's, in the library area, but it's actually inside of the track at back, it's inside the teacher's lounge. They got two of them are connected, not sure why they have two of them in there. But I think we can eliminate one of them. But we're waiting to talk with JCI on that to verify that we can get rid of it. Rec center, air compressor, down in the basement for the pool, that runs pool controls, went out. Then got, compressor from Lowe's, that compressor went out, faulty, brought it back. So we decided to go get one that had an hour meter on it, that way we'll be able to track, how often it turns on, and when we would need to replace it next time, so. Michael installed all that already. Lights in the rec center, there's four lights that were out, they're under warranty, they shipped us the lights. Big problem was getting up in there, our lift only goes 26 feet, we need something that was 35 feet. Todd Fountain graciously loaned us, or I went and got, and told him after his lift, and when we went there and changed them, changed out the light bulbs. Michael and Jerry did it for us, so that's done. We needed a new dolphin, a dolphin that we had in the shop 3 times last year. Cost us just as much as a new one, so we just made a decision, let's go get another one. We're gonna send that one actually back to Hagen, who's the originator of it, and see if they'll say if it's feasible to work on it, fix it, so we have a backup or not. Hagen is also, we've contacted to come in, look at our pool's controls, because they're 15 years old. We would like to replace them, because the system is so old that we would have to transfer it into a new system. We're asking them to come in, that part is they're in Chicago. So we're just waiting on them to get time to come in and look at our system. Last, Eagle, the MS4, the drainage waters that we have the engineers come in and look at. They gave us a report today. The drainage, we had a couple drains that we knew were discharging into, not the waterway, but into drainage ditches that led to the waterway. When they were here today, assured us that, the only one that discharges directly into the, creek is the one at the middle school. I wasn't concerned, but I was wondering what they were gonna say about the one at the garage. The one that north goes into a drainage pond and then into the, that one's good, that one's good. The high school's good. They have one in the drainage, one of the basins that's sinking. That they think is broke down there. We'll have to get someone out and look at it, pull it up, and get that fixed. All the rest are fine. One dumps directly into the creek. They'll have to take samples. They're really focused on E. coli. I mean, they look at everything, but they're really focused on E. coli. Stuff from animals or something that gets down in there and it's contaminating the water.
Jody, is that pipe full open or is there a valve that actually controls it?
So we got catch basins.
In the future, put a valve in? They mention about putting a valve?
It's a drainage.
Yeah. And another areas where they put a pond, they do initiate the new installs.
They, it literally goes under the road straight into the, the creek over there. So that they will, we're gonna have them come out, they'll take care of all the samples, sift the samples out, give them back. I don't foresee us having any issues with E. coli. We might have issues with that, I think we'll have issues with E. coli. So I don't think that's gonna be a problem. There's some other things that we gotta do internally. They're gonna actually set all that up for us, so all we gotta do is implement it. So working with them's been a pleasure also. They're doing a great job. It's a lady and guy that they should send out, and they're doing a good job also. That's it. And I gotta get out of here. I'm not to stay. My daughter got a new job, which is tied to her schooling. And I told her I was gonna take her to dinner.
All right. Thank you, Jody.
Thank you, Jody.
Where the heck am I at?
Just looking for reasons for the end.
All right, moving on to new business. Motion to receive the recommendation of the committee of a whole regarding the payment of the general fund bills.
Support.
Jackie, supported by Corey. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carries 7-0. Subject B is the approval of the minutes. Motion to approve the minutes for December 2025.
Motion.
Mr. Pajaro. Mr. Barton. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Subject C is the budget amendment. Motion to adopt the attached general fund budget amendment resolution for the 25-26 school year.
Motion. Support.
Foster. McLaughlin. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Subject D is the hiring of Dana Bond, paraprofessional. Motion to approve the hiring of Dana Bond as an inclusion aide at the middle school effective January 5th, 2026. New employee paperwork has been completed and satisfied.
Motion.
Ms. Lancaster.
Support.
Mr. Pajaro. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Subject E is the hiring of Lindsay LeBeau, ELA middle school teacher. Motion to approve the hiring of Lindsay LeBeau as a middle school ELA teacher effective January 12th, 2026. New employee paperwork has been completed and satisfied.
So moved.
Mr. McLaughlin.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Yeah, I was waiting.
And
I was waiting.
Mr. Barton. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Welcome.
And she is here.
Welcome.
Congratulations, Ms. LeBeau. So excited. She worked very hard to get through that program.
Subject F is the hiring of Lucas Goins, high school science teacher. Motion to approve the hiring of Lucas Goins as a high school science teacher effective January 26th, 2026. New employee paperwork has been completed and satisfied.
So moved.
Corey? Evans? Discussion?
Yeah, I noticed it says here that Caitlin logged to Caitlin, what happened to Caitlin Moore?
She resigned a long time ago.
Really?
Last year.
She had a different.
She resigned in the summer, she's studying abroad in South Korea.
South Korea. Well, we weren't told she resigned. We were told she was on a leave to teach abroad, and that's why he's probably asking that.
No. She was-
Absolutely was in our notes.
That she resigned? Or
No,
that she left?
that she was just on a leave is probably why we asked that. I mean, I'm good with it either way. I just gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it was conveyed a different way, but that's okay.
So Kieran.
Any other discussion?
Oops.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Citizens?
I have nothing still.
Still?
Still.
And admin?
All right. We will start with Ms. Rowe.
So first of all, a big thanks to Jefferson High School for inviting Soap to participate in their Winter Fest activities. So we will be doing the Spirit Week with them. We appreciate it. So that went out today in both of police communication and then obviously a hard copy for our parents who aren't on the jet. We are doing NWA testing, but with the snow days, we've been a little hiccups. On top of, we had a ton of kids just out sick, so our makeup list like went from this to yeah, so we're pushing through and continuing next week, but we are more than likely going to be running over with testing through the week of February and hopefully done that first full week. But again, either way, it will get done, and we are just pushing along with that. Let's see. February 2nd, we are doing our second book fair of the school year. February 9th is our 80s day to celebrate the 80s left in the school year. And let's see, the 100 day of school was supposed to be February 6th without the snow days, but because the kids are super excited about the 100 day of school and the celebrations, we're just going to keep it the 6th for consistency because it does throw some of our little ones into kind of a tailspin if their day gets a little messed up there. So we're going to stick with the 6th and push forward with those celebrations. Our cookie dough fundraiser assembly date is set for Friday, February 27th at 10 o'clock in the gymnasium. I spoke with Alicia from the inflatables, and my concern was the bungee jump wasn't going to fit in the gym, but she reassured me that it definitely is. So there will be 13 students racing me in the bungee race for selling $350 or more. Our first place classroom was Mrs. Rickman's kindergarten classroom, so they will get a pizza party and an ice cream party. And then Blair Balsamo was our top seller, so she will get lunch with the principal and a friend in the office if she chooses to do it in the cold months, or we'll do a picnic outside if she chooses to do it in the spring months. And a huge thank you to custodians and grounds. It was slippery out there this morning, and as soon as I was like, hey, Miss Johnson, can I have a shovel? She came up and started shoveling, and I'm like, oh, you can give it to me. You don't even have a coat on. So they've been working their tail off, and it looks really good. I know it's been a lot, so just a huge shout out to Jody and his crew. They've been doing a great job for us. So I think that's everything for self-care. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Ms. Rosecrans?
So I do want to start with some thank yous to, we've got a great team that every day at arrival and dismissal supports our students. So I wanted to thank Ms. Homrich, Ms. Amber, Mrs. Johnson, and Ms. Little, who are outside every single day in the blistering cold. We've done an incredible job of getting that line done. I want to say we're about 13 to 15 minutes every day, rain or shine, snow or wind. So it's really been fantastic. I think it's been a really good move for kids. I think it's been a really good push from a safety standpoint that we are ensuring kids are getting with the right person at the right time with those signs in place, and really just being diligent on that end. So I have to thank that team because they're fantastic. And I stand in the doorway to call kids and I'm freezing my tail off. So they really do the most to support our kids. Thank you as well to our social work team that does everything and is everywhere all the time. Miss West and Miss Homrich are always supporting all of our kiddos, no matter if we're having the best day or a tricky day, and they don't get enough appreciation. So I wanted to thank them.
And then moving on to NWEA testing, should weather stabilize for us, we do have testing next week. We have our PBIS Blue Party on the 30th, which is next Friday. We are doing, on behalf of the Parent Club, we're going to do a cookie dough fundraiser running from 2/3 to 2/17. And our Parent Club has really hoped, we've talked together, I've talked with the team, and their hope is to focus on student and staff wellness. So our big goal, our big push is going to be to get a track. If we're able to fund it and have all of those details worked out, we'd like to get a track that will go on our playground to support student and staff wellness, encourage the movement, maybe even for some of our kiddos that need some of those movement breaks to facilitate some of those pieces in a more thoughtful way and an intentional way, just to get the wiggles out and to help them to navigate their day. We do have, on behalf of our Parent Club, they really pushed, they really wanted to get popcorn back, so we are going to be doing weekly popcorn. The Boggs family, which is a great family in our school and in our community, has donated a popcorn machine to us. And I have to thank our Parent Club. They're working diligent with me a couple times a month in our meetings to make sure that we're doing great things for kids. So we are going to be doing Valentine's Day grams, tattoo and sticker sales during lunches, and we will be having Valentine's Day parties on 2/13. And lastly, we are still working in some of the final stages of hiring some really great staff members. I have some interviews and some callbacks scheduled for a lunch aide, a music teacher, technology teacher, and our reading specialist. So we're really working hard to get the right fit people, and I recognize that sometimes does take a little bit more time than we anticipate, but it's really important that as we are building a strong team, that we're choosing the right candidates to fill those roles. And of course, I want to thank Mr. Nettle and Ms. Wendell. It takes a village to support our kids. It really does. And I'm just humbled and I'm grateful that we're working together so well to support our kids. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Yep. It's you.
Mine's quick. First thing is we have a couple of fundraisers going on. There's actually one tonight, Hungry Howie's fundraiser for Jefferson Middle School. We're working on a Mother's Day fundraiser. We're currently launching a girls support group this February to help build friendships and build confidence. Bosco will resume training at the end of this month, and he continues to spread smiles and joy at the middle school. He's pretty awesome. Social media is continuing to reach our community, and the feedback is pretty amazing. I'm always proud of our amazing staff and the strong teamwork, like everybody keeps mentioning, and the custodians and the bus drivers, and just really a cool thing to be a part of. Right? We see it all from a different point of view. Okay? And we're continuing the PBIS with monthly rewards like pizza parties and giveaways.
Ms. Crossley.
Okay, so first thing I want to touch on is something that came up earlier. We actually called down those kids that we had sent emails to for the focus group.
Okay.
Teenagers don't check their email.
Great news.
So when I said, you all received an email, they were like, what email? No.
They're too busy emailing me for a snow day. Your students.
Oh, they do. They check it, but they use it.
Yeah.
So we met with 15 seniors.
Oh, that's amazing. Great. Okay.
They're going to report on Wednesday. That's my only little nervous point because now they're going to clamp back a little bit
Yeah.
more. But,
Okay.
hopefully we can get that all worked out. But they know they're going to come to the library with their Chromebook. They're going to log in. And
Awesome. Great. Thank you for that.
So the students are taken care of.
Great.
And then when we came back from spring break, oh my
Girl, I wish it was for you.
All right. When we came back from Christmas break, we had that college and career fair that was planned. Kids got to come down. They met with representatives from colleges, trade schools, job opportunities, military recruiters. They just got an opportunity to make some connections and think about like a little bit more about their future going forward. And I have to thank Mr. Gilbert for all of his hard work on that. He put that entire event together, and it was a big job. So I'm grateful. for that. And the kids loved it, and they talked about it for a long time, and they all had different colleges or different groups that they talked to that they were talking about after. So it did go over really well. And then last Friday, the school store had one of their Game Fest days. Employees and the managers, they create games, and then kids play the games during lunches, they win prizes. And this time, my favorite game was called Pin the Mustache on Mr. Janot. So if you know Mr. Janot, I wanted them to have mustaches from throughout the years. 80s mustache.
That's hilarious.
But they didn't. But the kids had to pin the mustache on Mr. Janot's big picture of his face. That night, our theater class and club performed Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I was speechless. It was such a hit, and I was floored by the talent in our kids. I didn't know some of our kids could sing like they had. It was really amazing. If you got a chance to see it, I just smiled through the whole thing. The Opa Loompas. We have very talented kids here at Jefferson, and I think they deserve a little shout out. So it was really good. I'm so proud of them. So coming up next week, we're going to try, hopefully, to wrap things up with first semester and get our exams done. I'll be sending out exam schedule number 4 after that we're out tomorrow. So that will push our start of our second semester back to probably Thursday. But that's okay. We'll make it work. We always do. This happens every year this time of year. Next week is also Spirit Week for Winterfest, though, so that'll be interesting. Friday is the pep rally and the basketball game with the crowning of the king, and then Saturday night's the dance. And then the other big news we have, so thank you for approving the new hire, is we have Mr. Lucas going starting with us on Monday to teach those science classes. And we're just really thrilled to have him as part of our team. He is, when you get a chance to talk to him, meet him, he is a hard worker and a go-getter. So I think we're going to be in a good position with having him as part of our team at the high school. And that's it for high school. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. Yep. All right. I'll go with the board. Mike, you got anything?
Thank you guys for all the updates and hard work, and yeah, hopefully the weather gets better.
Yeah.
You guys like it, I hate it. But.
Shane.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. Appreciate it. Stay warm.
I just wanted to, you gave a shout out to the theater club. I wanted to give a shout out to your staff at the high school. I was impressed. I counted because I was there early. There were at least 15 staff members at the play supporting the students after school, and I love seeing that. That's amazing to me when you can see. That means a lot to the students. I mean, my daughter was in the play. She's like, "Did you see all the teachers that were there?" Like, yeah, it was cool. So let them know that was awesome and it was noticed.
That's great. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being so good about all of the changing schedules and all of the craziness that's going on. I guess that's one perk of not working in a building. I don't get snow days, which is a bummer, but I also don't have to change my schedule. So I feel for you guys, and thank you for taking such good care of the kiddos coming out of, having so many days off.
Same as Jackie with the school closings, and such, just maybe being out early with Jody, trying to drive the roads, things like that. So
She loves it.
All the crews trying to keep things up to par. All the good feedback from you guys as well. I love hearing that. Looking forward to the upcoming events. Definitely Winterfest. My son's been begging me to take him to a basketball game. It's just been a struggle with work and everything as right now, but that will be a game we will be at. So looking forward to all those events. There's one other thing and I forget, so I guess that's it. I don't want to hold it up.
Amy, thank you. Deb, thank you. Administration, thank you. I gotta be honest, first time I've actually heard multiple schools complimenting each other. I don't think I've ever heard that before, to be honest with you. So that tells me something's going on. All right, so I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna get a little sad with this, but myself personally, I just found out today, it seems like the board's a little bit limited on the bond issue. I thought I was gonna have a bigger role, I gotta be honest with you. So it saddens me that, that I can't be used in that manner, but, I'm okay with it. I still want to say something, but nonetheless, I'd like to ask a question, because he brought the bond up. Dan, Amy, is it okay for me to ask, to ask if anyone's actually heard any type of feedback from the staff or even from the back row? Is it okay to ask that, or is that a little bit, maybe we should wait? Because I'm getting the sense what you're saying, or from earlier about not getting the feedback. I'm just curious, are they hearing something that maybe we should be aware of, or no?
The information hasn't even gone out.
It hasn't gone out.
Oh, they've been talking about the bond, guys. Let's go. This has
Well-
definitely been a big topic now for, well, the end of last year to this year. And I'm just curious, was it okay to ask? If not, I'm good.
There's a trend with extra, and the Zoom is after school hours. So I think that's part of the concern. I'm assuming. I don't know if
I'd
there's.
like to offer, anyone has anything to say, feel free to let me know your opinion on how we're doing. Because I sure would like some feedback. It's out there. I already know they're talking. I'm just curious what they're all saying.
Yeah, I think, to your point, I think you're gonna get a better feel on that after those focus groups meet. It's gonna give you a temperature check on where people are at.
It's weird you say that, but right now, just gut feeling, I get a temperature check.
Yeah,
brother. So,
Same.
good. Thank you.
Barb?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out on this cold night. I hope you guys all stay warm. Thank you to Dr. Mallow for the great presentation. Administration, transportation, everybody, thank you guys for all the hard work you guys do.
All right. Is that motion to adjourn the board meeting?
So moved.
Supported by Iggy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. We are adjourned. 7:13.